How's it going, guys? We're here to talk about your APUs. We're going to talk about controllers. We're going to talk about safety, and we're going to talk about how to use them. First thing we're going to start with is we're going to start with the controllers. There's two different types. We have an older type and a newer type. The older type looks like this. It looks like a house thermostat. If you look on here, the first top switch is an off position. The middle position is off position. If you go to the left, that is run. Anytime you're down for the day, you turn your truck off, you're going to want to put it in the run position. It's going to run until you turn it off. To the right, there's a remote monitor. What a remote monitor does is the APU actually ties in with your truck batteries. So it's going to keep an eye on your truck batteries. When that voltage drops, your APU is going to turn on. It's going to charge those batteries until it's at the proper level and turn back off. Anytime you're down for a day or more, you're going to want to have it in that remote monitor position. The second switch here is a fan speed. You have your low, medium, and high fan speeds. To the right, you're going to have an auto on for your fans, and you're also going to have on the bottom a hot, cool, and off. The heat position, you can go up to 90 degrees, and the cool position goes down to 45. The newer controllers are a little more high-tech looking, but they're still pretty simple. If you click the power button, what's going to happen is it's going to turn your APU on just like your other style. If you hold the power button, what it actually does is put it in a remote monitor. So like I said, if you're down for the day or longer, you're going to put it in a remote monitor position. It's going to keep an eye on your batteries. You also have to the right, you have your fan speeds. You have to the left, you have your where you need to select your select button if you need to go higher or lower on your heat or your cool, and also what you want to select. Use these arrows to the left. And then you also have your cool button and your heat button. Next, we're going to talk about your PDM and your HVAC box. Your PDM, old style, looks like this. On it, it has fuses and what they're for. Also, if you look to the left, it has these lights, and it is kind of like letting you know what's going on with your APU. On the bottom has the power and activity. As long as your APU is running, both of these should be lit up. If you're having a problem with it shutting down or won't start, one of these on top of those are going to flash red, and you know that something's going on with your APU. On the newer style PDM, you're not going to have that. It's all basically controller. Okay. Also with this old style PDM, to the side you're going to have an hour meter. Anytime you go in to check in your truck or your APU, you're going to have your miles and you're going to have your hours. So make sure you know where that's at. And with your new controller, it's actually in here to find your hours. You select your wrench position, your wrench button, and it's actually going to give your hours for you. So now we're going to talk about preventive maintenance. What you're going to do is you want to go through your truck every day just like you do your APU, just like you do your truck. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to your battery box of your truck. There's going to be two breakers sitting in your battery box. They're going to be sitting on top of the batteries or in the bracket in the back. There's a red button on top of this breaker. If you push that open, this flap opens up. Once that flap opens up, you know there's no power going to your APU, so you can touch the belts or wherever you need to and have no, you don't have to worry about turning on you. We've had instances already that this has happened, that an APU is turned on somebody when you're in there. So make sure if you take your lid off, you need to have the breaker open. So once you do that, you're going to go to your APU, and two main things you're going to want to check. You're going to check your oil and you want to check your antifreeze. Your dipstick on these older styles is actually a little hard to get to, but it's off to the side. Has a level where you need to be at. If you're a little above, a little below, it's kind of like a car, it's not going to hurt anything. But if you're down a good bit or you're up, that's when you need to worry. It's a 3-port system, that's all it takes, no more than 3 ports, okay? And just because you're down here, don't mean to have 3 ports. What we have actually happened is drivers put too much oil, and then they run it and hydro-lock their engine. So it's very important you put it at the proper level. If you're down on your dipstick, add a quart or add a little less than a quart and see where you're at and keep checking. Just because you're burning oil, don't just add oil and not check your dipstick. Okay, so when you're done with that, put that back in. your fill is on top of the engine, and that's both the new and older engines, okay? Next you want to check to make sure you have no fuel leaks or nothing coming out of your lines. As long as you have no fuel leaks, your oil is good, you're good with this part of the APU. Next you're going to go to the back of the cab, and as long as your lid is on, you can step on the APU. If your lid is off, do not step on here. There is fuel lines you can crush, okay? So once you do that, you go up there. There is no sight glass for your antifreeze, so what you need to do is you're going to take your lid off, and you're going to take a flashlight. You want to be half to 3/4 full and no more than that. What's going to happen, it's not going to hurt anything, but if you go over that, when it pressurizes, you're going to have coolant mess everywhere, okay? So as long as you're in that half to 3/4 range, you're good. There's a sensor to the right of the coolant reservoir when you're looking at it. If it goes below that reservoir, it will code for a low coolant and then won't run. It'll run for a minute and turn back off, okay? So anytime you code for low level, you want to go ahead and check and make sure it's at the right level. Once you're done there, your APU looks good, you're happy with that, you're going to go back to your battery box, you're going to go back to a breaker, and you're going to take the flap and you're going to push it back in. You can hear that clicking noise, I'm not sure if you can, but if you can, it will click so you know it's back on. If you turn your APU on without make sure its breaker is closed, what's going to happen is it's going to try to start your engine and it's going to blow your starter fuse. It's not a big deal. All you have to go is go back to your PDM, replace the starter fuse, and then make sure these are closed, and you're good to start your APU. We do have 110 that runs for your heater, your block heater of your truck, and also for 110 inside your cab. As long as the APU is running, the 110 will work. But if the APU is off, the 110 won't work. For the block heater, what we do is we run a line, or a wire to your block heater plug that is located underneath your driver's side door or on the internationals in the middle of your cab. In the summertime, it will be zip tied on the other side of the rocker. You will not be able to see it. In the wintertime, you should cut that, once October, November comes around, you're going to cut that zip tie and you're going to plug it in. You're going to have it plugged in until about April once it starts warming up. And what that's going to do is anytime your APU is running, it's also warming up your block of your engine block of your truck. One of the big things, anytime you're down for the day, you do not want to idle your truck and idle your APU at the same time. If you go to turn your APU on, you need to make sure your truck's off and vice versa. All you're doing is you're wasting more fuel than necessary and no benefits from that. The only time it's going to be okay is if you get a message from either your driver manager or whoever sends you a message saying it's okay to run both. And that's in extreme cases of cold or heat, okay? If you're having APU problems, you're going to want to send them out Macro 12 and let them know you're having APU problems, and that's why you're idling your truck, okay? Now, as long as you let them know, we have a high idle list. As long as you let them know, you will not get a phone call. If you do not let them know, they will give you a call. What they're going to try to do is route you here as soon as possible, okay? And that's pretty much it. Thank you.